Par for the course.
I don't want to ruin your day of golf at Trump National, but I have something to say.
A big-shot American businessman purchases a pristine chunk of Scottish countryside to build. Is this the plot of a movie? Well, yes. But it was also the plot that unraveled at the hands of the Donald, as told by the documentary You've Been Trumped. However, instead of coming to love the area's regional charm and changing his plans like his movie counterpart, Trump bullied, bulldozed, and built his golf course.
I want to get rid of that house.
It's going to create a bit of a stir, but if we're
Who cares? Who cares? You know what? Who cares?
Number 4. Trump gives birther to some strange ideas.
Donald, you're beginning to sound a little ridiculous. I have to tell you.
I think you are, Wolf. Let me tell you something. I think you sound ridiculous.
Trump isn't a Barack Obama fan. He proved that by demanding to see Obama's birth certificate. You know, because there's no way he was born in America.
What has he got against you here? I don't get it.
You know, this all dates back to when we were growing up together in Kenya.
Yeah.
And,
Whether it was a political dispute, latent racism, or just plain stupidity, we can't say. But when he then tries to blackmail the president into releasing his school records via a super-duper huge ginormous announcement, well, that's the last straw.
I will give to a charity of his choice, Inner City Children in Chicago, American Cancer Society, AIDS research, anything he wants, a check immediately for $5 million.
Number 3, would he paint the White House gold?
I think I'd do a really good job. I think I'd protect this country.
Wasn't it easier when Donald Trump was only famous for making money and getting divorced? Somewhere along the way, Trump went from an eccentric businessman with a quirky hairdo to a right-leaning political force with a really quirky hairdo.
It's really mine, you know? It's like,
While he's donated to candidates in both parties, Trump threw his toupee into the ring in 2011 as a potential Republican Party nominee.
If I decide to run, you'll have the great pleasure of voting for the man that will easily go down as the greatest president in the history of the United States. Me, Donald John Trump.
That did make for some great sound bites about him and jokes about him.
Donald Trump said recently he has a great relationship with the blacks, though unless the blacks are a family of white people, I bet he's mistaken.
But he dropped out pretty fast, although he did explain what he'd bring to the table as president.
Part of the beauty of me is that I'm very rich.
Number 2, a la Twitter after election results. While Americans celebrated Obama's re-election, Trump was quietly sulking. Sorry, did we say quietly? We meant obnoxiously posting a barrage of hateful tweets. Actually, let's open this up to anything Trump has ever said on Twitter ever. What does he use his 140 characters for? Feuding with respected newsmen, quoting himself, bragging like it's going out of style, which it is, by the way, and name-calling. You stay classy, Donald Trump.
Let me tell you, I'm a really smart guy.
Number 1, Trump can take a joke.
Please welcome the second worst tragedy ever to hit New York City. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald J. Trump.
Say what you will about the man, but he can take it as well as dish it out. And as we've seen, he can definitely dish it out.
Rosie is a loser.
President Obama has gotten a few jabs in at the Donald's expense.
you, Mr. Trump, recognize that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me up at night.
But the best was when he sat through an entire roast where he was mocked without mercy.
Donald say he wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not? It wouldn't be the first time you pushed a black family out of their home.
But as always, the Donald had the last laugh.
What's the difference between a wet raccoon and Donald J. Trump's hair? A wet raccoon doesn't have $7 billion in the bank.
What are your favorite Donald Trump moments?
I am really proud. I am really honored.
For more entertaining trivia videos, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
If I were running The View, I'd fire Rosie. I mean, I'd look her right in that fat, ugly face. If